Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet again another episode of the NordCast. It is episode number 25, and it is Thursday, May 11th. Technically it's Friday, May 12th, but I'm your host here, Nord97, joined here with Carter. How we doing?
We are doing fantastic right now.
That's good to hear. And we got Jack, finally got his camera back. First off, Jack's had a pretty eventful weekend since the podcast. My boy had prom. That looked pretty fun, Jack, didn't it? And then also, Jack got a brand new whip. Jack got a car.
And we got Bedard.
Yes, we'll get into that in a second. It's been quite the week for Mr. Polko right here. But anyways, Jack, how you doing?
Doing good.
That's good to hear. All right, so episode 25. Can you guys believe we made 25 of these?
Quarter to 100.
Absolutely insane.
Crazy.
Can't believe it. I do want to go over some stats just for fun, because why not? So over the course of our 24 episodes, not including this episode, we had a total of 1,852 plays, which is an average of, I believe, 60 to 75 viewers per episode. We have over 300 Spotify followers. And then let me take a look at our audience real quick. So you can, on the cool thing about this app, or Anchor, which is the website we use, you can look at like where people are listening from. 58% listen from the United States, 38% listen from Canada. It's a tie between Germany, India, Singapore, Denmark, Sweden, Indonesia, Japan, and Mexico. All have 1%.
International.
Yeah, we're international.
We made it, boys.
We did it.
As it goes for platforms, 36% of us, 36% of our fans listen from Apple Podcasts, 32% listen from Spotify, 26% listen from, I believe, a web browser, which might be YouTube. I'm not entirely too sure what that means. Devices, of course, it's mainly iPhone. But the gender, it's mainly male. Females don't like us. But yeah. Anyways, that's all I got. Reflections on episode 25. It's been a fun ride with y'all. It's been a lot of fun recording these episodes.
Yeah, for sure.
Actually, I'm not gonna lie. The past couple of weeks have been like This has been like my favorite thing to do. Like, end of the week is NordCast recording. Yeah. It's been a lot of fun. All right. Anyways, if you guys don't have anything else, we'll move into probably what Jack has been waiting for, the draft lottery. And it's awesome to think that we have a Blackhawks fan in here, and they won the draft, and they're going to get Connor Bedard and the first overall pick. So, Jack, I'll go to you first because you're a Blackhawks fan. How are we feeling after a really bad rebuilding year and a lot of players leaving, and you get somebody back in return? How do you feel right now?
I'm feeling great. Carter's got the Bedard shirt on. I mean, it's kind of surreal, honestly. It doesn't feel real at all. It's still kind of settling in for me. And, you move on from Kane and Taves. Kane, the number one overall pick, obviously. He leaves. Now you get the number one overall pick again. And you have the greatest prospect of all time, arguably, in hockey history, in Connor Bedard. So, I'm really excited. June 28th is the draft, and very, very excited for Connor Bedard.
Now, I'm going to ask you both this question, and this could spark a whole entire topic. Do you guys think the draft lottery is rigged? Now, I know that since we have a Blackhawks fan in here, I know Jack's going to...
Of course Jack's going to say no.
That's what I'm saying. No. Of course Jack is going to say no. But I want to know, Carter's thoughts. Carter, do you think the lottery in any way possible is it rigged?
I feel like, part of me says yes, but part of me says no. I feel like we could get rid of all of, this rigging thing if they showed, the, actual lottery stuff happen live. If that happened live, in the NBA, or I don't know what other sports do, but I'm pretty sure the NBA does it all live. If they did that, I feel like we could get this whole rigging discussion out of it. But, I don't know. I just hate it just seems too good to line up that the Blackhawks lose their number one overall pick in Patrick Kane and they get a new one. It just seems too perfect to fit. But I don't know. I just wish that they showed it live. I'm pretty sure You know, remember when they did like the little ping pong balls for that one for Alexi Lafreniere that year?
Yeah, they did that in 2020. I thought that was like
That was
good.
that was perfect. I know it's hard to do because you got all the percentages and stuff like that, but you can find a way to do that.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, I think the ping pong balls would actually make it a lot more like suspenseful, if that's the word, and more like actually kind of entertaining than just the boring cards that they flip over. I understand that it's like less time and it's easier, but like I think that would be a lot cooler, and it would eliminate most of the rigged comments.
And it actually like bring like hype and energy toward the draft lottery because when it's the draft lottery, you're just sitting there, and you're like, okay, let's see what he flips in the cards. But if like it was like a draw or something, you'd be like, oh, I wonder who he's gonna draw, and you'd get like really close into it.
Yeah, for sure.
But
My honest opinion on if the lottery is rigged, I don't think it's rigged. I took the TikTok with that answer. There were idiots that don't know hockey, that don't even talk about hockey, on the app of TikTok, that were talking about how like just I don't know if you guys watched it. I'm sure Jack did, but just because like Kevin Weeks said that Columbus had the third overall pick before they officially announced that Columbus had the third overall pick, they were thinking, "Oh my God, it's rigged," and "Oh my God, that doesn't even make any sense." Because first off, that's not even the definition of rigged. Rigged would be making it so a team wins, and that's not even that. No, like everybody in TV needs a script. They gave all of the lottery numbers and all the lottery people who won to the TV analysts, so they knew what to put up. They knew what graphics to put up. They knew what to do. And Kevin Weeks wasn't just making all that stuff off the top of his head. He was reading off of a telegraph or whatever. Teleprompt, yeah. And then the other argument too, and this really doesn't make sense to me. And they were saying that, oh, Chicago covers up the sexual assault allegations and then they get Bedard, it's rigged. That doesn't make any sense. Like,
no,
and,
that
and
doesn't make
honestly,
any sense.
like if it was rigged, then oh my God,
They would have dropped to like 4 or 5.
yeah,
And they
wouldn't
would
they
have
have rigged it against them? But then
Yeah.
people were making the argument that they should have taken Chicago's picks, which I mean, I guess, but I mean they would have probably just taken 2022s. Like
They should have taken picks instead of fining us.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, I guess you're not complaining because look at what you got now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's a difficult situation because there's the other end of it that like Chicago's a big hockey city. There's no denying that whatsoever. And the fact that they got Bedard instead of like the smaller markets like Anaheim and Columbus does look a little bit weird. And the fact that Chicago was also like the only one to move up, I believe, is a little bit strange. But I still don't think it's rigged. I mean, it does kind of suck, and part of me saying that it sucks is because my teams didn't win. But yeah, I mean, hey, congrats to Chicago. They definitely deserved it. I don't know about deserved it, but they definitely are going to be happy with that. And as well as that too, I mean, people are also saying too that like Bedard's career is wasted now because he's going to Chicago. And like people are forgetting that like they're in a rebuild. Like they're not just going to get Bedard and be done with it. Like, oh, the rebuild's over, we got Bedard. I mean, yeah, this is a gigantic step compared to if they got like what, third overall. I mean, I'm not disrespecting whoever they would get at third overall, but Bedard changes everything and makes.
We got the most cap space in the league.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. How it makes the rebuild about 3 to 4 years shorter potentially. So now you just got to build a team around him, and it might take a while. I'm not saying it'll happen overnight. I mean, it took a while with Patrick Kane. It took a while with Connor McDavid. But I still think that he's not going to waste his career in Chicago. We say the same thing about Edmonton. Can't wait till they win a cup. But anyways, you guys got any more thoughts on the lottery? I kind of went on there for a little bit. We got nothing? All right, so we're going to turn the tide here a little bit towards Connor Bedard. We're going to go into like the prospect preview type thing because each episode up until the draft, we're going to talk about different prospects that are in this year's draft because I thought it'd be a cool idea now that the draft lottery is like fully announced and we have the bottom 16 teams. So we'll start off with Bedard. We'll go to Fantilli next. We'll do Mitchkov, Carlson. We got Will Smith. We got a lot of guys we can do. But of course, we'll start off with the main one. Bedard, honestly, And look, I haven't been into hockey that long. Like, here, let me ask you guys this question: when did you guys get into hockey? I got into it in 2018.
When the Hawks won their cups.
Of course.
Which one?
Of course.
Which one?
Well, in
2010 or-
2010 I was 4. 2015, 2013 I was 7, so I could understand it. In 2010 I was a big fan. Or 2015 I was a big fan.
All right, so I'm just gonna say like 2013 to 2015 for you, Carter. What about you?
Yeah.
I always like followed like hockey and stuff like that, but I never like fully like got like
I
invested
mean, makes
into
sense
it.
'cause you're Canadian.
Like I feel like every kid growing up, you're in love with your sport. But if I had to pick a time where I was like truly like into hockey, I'd say about when we got Patrick Laine in Winnipeg, because he just
Oh.
instantly became my favorite player, and I loved Patty Laine.
So 2016, around there.
Yeah, 2016.
All right, so
2017.
you know, I genuinely have not seen a player that has been really this hyped up, and maybe that's because like I wasn't around, or I wasn't a hockey fan when McDavid was drafted, and we're all millennials, we're all under 18 years old, so like I've never seen a player genuinely like be this hyped up. Not Shane Wright, not Alexi Lafreniere. This guy is like proven to be like the next big superstar, like truly. He was born July 17th, 2005 in Vancouver. He's consensus ranked number 1 literally everywhere. Literally everywhere. There's not one place where he's not ranked number 1. Genuinely. His best season was last year in 2022-23 with 57 games played. 71 goals, 72 assists for 143 points with the Pats. He's played really well with them and even carried them into the playoffs because that team is full of just a bunch of nobodies. Like, honestly. And then with the World Juniors, Carter was very happy about this. He's wearing his Bedsy Heartbreaker shirt for our video.
Yeah.
He had 23 points in those 7 games played, and that was close to the record. So that is just absolutely unbelievable, something we haven't seen in a long time. Some other stuff on him that, is like basic info. He broke his arm like really early on in his playing career, and he learned how to shoot left when he's a right shooter. Now, I've read a few hockey books in my time. I read a Gordie Howe autobiography, and Gordie Howe was one of the players who could shoot from both sides, whether it was right-handed or left-handed. And, having Bedard having a skill like that is really important. And it also helps improve his backhand as well. He once also brought gear on vacation to Hawaii to literally train.
Oh, yeah.
So there's just no off days for this guy whatsoever. He was named, and this is crazy to me. And when you really think about it, like when you're 13 years old, you're in 7th grade. You're like in 7th grade in middle school. This guy was named the future of hockey at 13 years old. So we're all in 7th grade worried about puberty. I'm dealing with acne. I still am. But this guy's named the future of hockey. That's insane. And then a year later, when he's in 8th grade, he's granted exceptional status, which is just absolutely unreal. And that goes to show just how good of a player he was early on. And that just goes to show like how much hard work he put in. He's compared to Steve Yzerman, Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, as expected. But as well as that, too, he's been named hockey's LeBron James, which is kind of interesting. He hasn't played in the NHL yet, so I don't know if he's earned that title. But hey, we'll see if he turns out to be a player like as good as LeBron James is in the NBA, in the NHL. Some other like player types about him. He's dangerous on the rush. He's a defenseman's worst nightmare. That kid is so fast. Outstanding skater. Just goes to show that he can just keep skating. He also has a really elite shot as well, as we mentioned. So,
Best part of his game.
Yeah, it's the best part of his game. So he has just been like one of the best players I've seen in years. Carter, what do you got? Oh, heartbreak. All right.
Yeah, that was. He's the same age as me too, which is really weird.
That's crazy to think about.
Well, like he's a couple months older than me. Like if we're trying to get like down to specifics here, but like born in the same year as me, it's crazy to think. I feel like the thing that sucks is like I don't know if you guys probably don't have this feeling yet, but recently I've been like noticing I'm like I don't know how I'm gonna get to being like in my mid-20s, mid-30s and be fans and like buy a jersey of a player who's younger than me.
That's what I've been thinking about.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like a bunch of the people that I work with, they're like, yeah, I can't even buy like a Cole Perfetti jersey because he's like younger than me, and it'd feel weird.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'd feel the same way.
Yep.
I do too.
Yeah, honestly, it will feel kind of weird when I'm repping. I don't even know who's younger than me. Michael Misa. I think he's literally younger than me.
I mean, I got like a Kane jersey that I'll continue to wear. You know.
Yeah, I got
even when I'm older.
Jerseys with players older than me, but
I'm still repping my Patty Line jersey.
I mean, yeah, you can always wear that because he'll always be like older than you, and he played when you were a kid. So
yeah, except it doesn't fit anymore. So
he's your idol, and I'm the one who's dumb enough to have him scoring 55 goals. Anyways, Bedard could score 55 in the NHL. There's been players in the NHL this year that have argued him to have scored 40 goals in this year's NHL, which is insane. And this guy hasn't even made it into the NHL just yet. So any thoughts on Bedard? Like anything, any comments that I haven't mentioned? Y'all are shaking your heads, but
I mean, okay. The one thing I've seen people kind of criticize is his height, and he's 5'10".
Yes.
He's 5'10", and you know he can dangle around anyway. I don't see that being an issue. Just saying.
Bro, Cole Caulfield's short too, and he's a superstar.
Yeah,
size doesn't matter.
Caulfield's short. Like, you know, they're
in the league.
Yeah, the height doesn't matter. Honestly, people always criticize the height. That doesn't matter at all.
It just makes you harder to hit.
Yeah, because you're faster.
You're shorter, so they can't take the same angle every time.
Understandably, he probably will get leveled at some point because that just happens to everyone. But like, it doesn't mean anything. Like it just means you're better. Honestly, I think if you're shorter, I think you're actually a much better player, 100%. Unless if you're Tage Thompson. So yeah,
right.
But yeah, we got anything else on Bedard? Just like an absolute phenom. I cannot wait to talk about this guy more closely to the draft. I'm hoping to bring on some other people who are more like prospect experts than us. Maybe some scouts. I've been calling up the phones. What do you want, Carter?
Easy. I am a Connor Bedard expert.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say, buddy.
Although I did get to see him play twice, and that is live twice, and that is more than you can say and more than you can say.
Hey, not in the future though.
Not in the future. Yeah.
Shut up, Jack. He's gonna be terrorizing Winnipeg for years. I don't need to hear this.
Yeah, that's right.
He's gonna win out of Chicago. They suck. You guys are just not gonna build a core around him. And just
he's gonna
put Eric Lindros.
Matthews 2024.
The lottery's rigged. Leafs in 7. Yeah.
Okay, now we're getting too far.
All right, that's a good transition into our next topic.
Playoffs.
Enough about the draft. Playoffs. So
we're talking about you, Jack.
Okay, now it's time to. Jack's time is done. Your time is over, Jack. Just wait a couple minutes.
All right, Jack. We'll see you next week.
All right, peace.
Adios.
Bye.
All right. Anyway, Carolina versus the Devils. That series literally just concluded about 20 minutes ago before we started recording. The Hurricanes won that one in overtime in 5 games, 4-1. Honestly, it just seemed like the Canes had a better team. They had a better momentum. I honestly did think, though, that like the Devils with the momentum beating the Rangers, I did kind of think they would go far, but Carolina handled them really well. Goaltending proved to be another huge factor in why the Devils lost this series. Genuinely, Schmidt didn't look good. Vanacek just looked shaky at times. Yeah, I mean, honestly, what are your guys' thoughts on the series? I think Carter had the Devils.
Available.
You're not available?
No, I said Hellebuck's available.
Oh, Hellebuck's available? But I think you had the Devils winning this series, right?
No.
No? Yeah, I think you had the Canes, right? We both had the
Canes.
Canes.
I had the Canes.
Yeah, so congrats to Carolina. They move on to the 3rd round. They're going to be the first team to do that. Yeah, any thoughts on the series?
New Jersey did not play well.
Yeah,
quite honestly, this series was just out of hand no matter what. Like
it was all blowouts. Apart from the game 5, it was all blowouts.
Yeah, it was all it was blowout for Carolina, and then like a blowout for New Jersey, and then blow out Carolina, and then close game Carolina, but still, like, just the inconsistencies.
That 8-4 game, I thought the Devils had the momentum. I thought that was going to be their game, and then they just fell apart in Game 4. And the Canes took advantage of that, and hey, they're into the conference finals, and they're halfway through the Stanley Cup. Toronto versus Florida. I believe the last time we were on here, it was 1-0 Florida. How are we feeling now? Jack has Leafs in 7. Jack has.
I do have Leafs in 7. I stuck to my word even after Florida was up 3-0 too.
I believe I said Leafs in 7. Leafs in 7 too, actually.
And who said Panthers? Please,
winning.
You did say Panthers, but hey, how's Carolina doing? Anyways, how's
you mean
Winnipeg
New Jersey?
doing? What?
Oh, how's Winnipeg doing? Shut up! At least we made the playoffs! Jack, you're fine to talk. You got the first overall pick. I don't care. Nordic, you and me are both in pain, but you're in more pain because you're an Arizona fan.
Yeah.
That's what you get for taking our franchise.
All right, pal. But yeah, Toronto, Florida. The weird thing was too, Florida just kept coming back in that series. Toronto just kept blowing leads, and they just kept messing up. The series isn't over yet. But it took them until Game 4 for Nylander or the Big Four to score a goal, and it was Nylander. It seems like Matthews and Marner have all just stayed in the first round. Like they're like, oh, we're not used to being this far in the playoffs. We're just gonna stay in the first round. And it seems like they just haven't had any goals whatsoever. And you can't do that. You can't score more than 2 goals and win in a hockey game. But coincidentally, they won Game 4 doing that. But yeah, how do we think the series is going to end? Do we think Florida's going to win, or do we think Toronto's going to win it? What do we think?
Well, you know my pick, Leafs in 7.
What about you, Carter?
Is that 6? Yeah.
Panthers in 6. The Paul Maurice photo, one of him putting up 6.
I hate so much that they made the playoffs because I made a video back in December.
Yeah.
December, where this team was out of the playoffs. And for a while, until the last 2 weeks of the season, they were going to miss. And then all of a sudden they started going on a hot streak, and Pittsburgh started just losing to Chicago. And that just screwed me up. So now I look like an idiot. They're 1 win away from the conference finals. And here I am saying that the dramatic turnaround of the Florida Panthers. What happened? There was no turnaround. But yeah, they've played really well from behind. Home ice advantage just seems like nothing to them, and they do deserve to make it to the conference finals. But if the Leafs win in 7, God bless them. Dallas versus Seattle. Currently, right now, Game 5 is going on. It is 2-0 Dallas. So we'll go through both scenarios here. If Dallas wins Game 5, who wins this series?
Dallas for sure.
Yeah,
Dallas.
I'm probably going to say Dallas as well. They had this same scenario back in the first round against the Wild, where they went down 2-1 and they won 3 straight to win it all. Win it all. Win the round. So if Seattle wins, who do we think's winning the series still?
Yeah,
do we think Seattle's winning it, or do
I
we
think
think
Dallas still wins.
I think it's gonna be the same thing as it was in the Colorado Seattle series. Whoever takes Game 5 will lose Game 6, but will bounce back for Game 7.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'd be awesome though to see Seattle in the conference finals. Wouldn't that be crazy? The weird thing
I would love to see Vegas, a cool conference final. As much as I'd want Edmonton to win, Seattle Vegas conference final, the 2 new expansion teams, would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool. The weird thing is too is I feel like I'm more invested and more entertained in this run than I was in Vegas's run. That could be because I was in 5th grade when the Vegas run happened, but I just feel way more into it with Seattle. It just feels like they have a chip on their shoulder and they're playing really good hockey. Carter, you look like you're shaking your head.
Oh yeah, mainly because the Jets actually made a deep run when Vegas made their run, so I enjoyed that one more.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, but realistically though, I think this team's much more fun. Yeah. They're way more underdog. Vegas, they were good in the regular season though, so
they just had a perfect expansion draft.
Yeah, they did the right thing.
Players just happened to pan out
in
insane.
Seattle. Seattle did not have a good expansion draft.
It's
in my
still
opinion.
it's still basically that entire roster though, besides maybe a few guys that they've brought
A
in.
few
Yeah,
pickups, Matty
like
Beniers.
oh yeah,
Beniers,
like that night of the
Jackson
expansion
Burkowski's
draft.
gonna come. What'd you say?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, just like that night of like Seattle's expansion draft, I was just sitting there like, what are they doing?
Yeah, they kept
They had
bringing all
they
those.
had two options, honestly. They had two options, which was either start slow, rebuild, and get yourself a championship team for the future, or go all in. And it seemed like they kind of picked in the middle. But
Yeah.
No, but it was smart though because they were last in that division that year. Then they picked up Shane Wright, which we'll see how he pans out. But then the full year of Matty Beniers just been playing really well, and they just seem to be picking it up. And I honestly do hope they kind of win this series, even though like I've meat rid the Dallas Stars this season, and it would be awesome for them to go to the conference finals and maybe even win the cup. But yeah, I think it would be awesome for Seattle to win this series. And last but not least, Edmonton versus Vegas. That series is currently tied at 2. Game 5, I believe, is tomorrow. So we'll go from both scenarios since it is tied 2-2. If Edmonton wins, who wins this series?
Edmonton.
If Vegas wins, who wins this series?
Edmonton.
Oh, you all just think Edmonton? Yeah, that's a valid
Me and
answer.
Jack are on the same page here. Hey,
Now,
go for guard.
Now we might be underrating Vegas here a little bit because they have played well, but I arguably do think that like I do think Edmonton will win, maybe in 7, maybe in 6, but I think that this series will be a lot closer than people were making it out to be, and it has. I do want to go over, and I did write this down, but in the headlines, but I do want to go over it. I believe you guys. I hope you guys did see the suspensions that were given out today. Between Darnell Nurse and Alex Petrangelo. So basically, Darnell Nurse was suspended 1 game for, I believe, like the instigator rule. It's called that, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The instigator in final 5 minutes. Basically, just for, I guess, instigating a fight. And then head coach Jay Woodcroft was fined $10,000. I didn't watch the game last night, or I didn't watch up until the end. So I don't really know what exactly happened or what Woodcroft did, but and then the other one was Alex Petrangelo was suspended 1 game for the slashing on Oilers forward Leon Draisaitl. Actually, at first when I first saw it, I actually thought that like Petrangelo was like skating and like his foot accidentally caught on the Draisaitl's foot, and that's what made him fall over. But I didn't even notice a slash until afterwards. So yeah, that's a dirty play, intent to injure. Definitely deserving of 1 game. But yeah, you guys got any more thoughts on the series?
Not really. I mean, every game has been a blowout pretty much.
Yeah, I will agree with that. Who's winning the cup out of the teams that are in it? There's 7 teams left.
Oh, that's a tough question.
Writing something down.
Yeah, what is you writing?
I can't.
Florida. I think it's Florida.
We can't read that, Carter.
It's Florida.
Oh, it's Florida. Yeah,
Florida.
all right. Audio listeners.
I'm gonna go.
Carter wrote on Florida on a piece of paper.
No, I'm
gonna
kidding.
go Edmonton.
Yeah, I'm still riding with Edmonton. Honestly, though, I
well.
could see Florida winning it. I think Florida could beat Carolina. I definitely think it's possible. But
I'm riding with the underdogs. My underdog couldn't do it.
But I feel like though if we count out Toronto, I feel like they're going to come back and win in 7, and we're going to look like idiots in episode 26.
Yeah, I can't predict a playoff series to save my life. Every single time the team ends up getting swept, and I started predicting that Florida would win. So now I'm thinking, like Toronto's going to pull up a reverse sweep.
But I pray that's not the case.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm the only cup prediction from the beginning of the playoffs that actually stays alive still. So,
Nice job.
right.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Nord.
That's all we got for playoffs until next episode. Next episode will probably be the conference finals. I think all the series will be done by then, probably.
Hopefully.
That's all we got. All right, we'll do headlines. The Philadelphia Flyers have hired Keith Jones as their president, and they have removed the interim tag from Danny Briere. Now, I like this. I actually do, because people were saying that it's stupid because Keefe has no experience or Jones has no experience, and Briere doesn't either. But here's the thing: Keefe Jones, and I know not a lot of people like Carter and Jack might not know this exactly, but Keefe Jones has watched every single Philadelphia Flyers game, has commentated every single Philadelphia Flyers game, has been an analyst. He knows what they want. He knows what they strive for, and I think honestly that's a really good decision to hire him. And honestly, and this could just be me thinking that it can't get worse, but it really can't. I can't see a way where this gets much worse, honestly, unless if we go rock bottom next year, which I don't think we will. But hey, anything can happen. But yeah, Briere, interim GM. We'll see what he does come the draft. The Flyers currently hold the 7th overall pick, so we'll see what comes of that. Ryan Reynolds is out on the Senators buying bid. That is really unfortunate. I was loving for those memes, and Carter just looks sad right now.
I'm so sad, man. I'm so sad.
But apparently, those Snoop Dogg and The Weeknd are both still in the race for the Ottawa Senators. So that is interesting. That is pretty cool that Snoop Dogg is in it. And he was also talking about too about how like the NHL is so shit at marketing. I forgot.
Yeah.
Brought that
I
up.
saw that.
Honestly,
he is so correct though. Like Snoop Dogg,
Yeah.
commissioner of the NHL. Fire Gary Bettman, make Snoop Dogg the commissioner. That's a great idea.
honestly, but like it might be bad. Like in order to score a goal, you have to have like a blunt in your mouth.
Yeah, it's gonna make it legal for all NHLers to smoke weed.
You have that's like the mouth guard now.
Yeah, it's not to say that they don't smoke weed already, but anyways, finalists. There's definitely some that do.
No shit.
We could honestly predict a player that smokes weed.
Brent Burns.
What?
You just pick.
All
We're
right.
calling that out here.
All
Bill
right.
Kessler.
If he picks a Metro team for our guess a player in a few minutes, I'm picking Brent Burns because I feel like that's what he's going for. Anyways.
No, I already have my player in mind.
All right, Vezina finalists. Those were announced. They were Linus Olmark, Connor Hellebuck, and Ilya Sorokin. So,
Yeah.
Who wins it? I'll go
Olmark.
for Olmark. I'm saying Olmark. Carter, don't be different, please.
I'm not. It's Olmark.
Connor Hellebuck.
Vezina Park. Woohoo!
It's definitely going to be Olmark, but Hellebuck and Sorokin deserve a lot more recognition. Shout out to Philip Gustafson too. What's up, Carter?
I do have one point. One thing that I recently learned was out of the last 6 seasons, Connor Hellebuck has been a Vezina finalist in 3 of them.
Really?
So in the last 6 years, 50% of the time he's like been nominated for the Vezina. So I think that's pretty cool.
Consistently good goalie. Nice. Our Ted Lindsay finalists. What?
Not in playoffs.
Well, hey, get a better defense in front of him. Your Ted Lindsay finalists: Connor McDavid, David Pastrnak, and I believe Eric Carlson. I just didn't decide to write him down on the notes, but I think it's Carlson. Who wins it there? I'm actually gonna go Carlson. I think Carlson could win it.
I think I'm gonna go Carlson too.
What about you, Carter?
Agreed.
Yeah, we're all going Carlson. Honestly, I just think with the season that he had, I think that he could win it. I forget, is the Lindsay Award voted like best player by the players? I forget what it is.
I don't actually know. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know the names of the awards. Here, I'll look it up. You guys keep talking.
All right. The last piece of news I have here is involving the New York Rangers. They have fired head coach Gerard Gallant. This continues the trend of the Rangers firing coaches, or actually no, Gallant having a really far season, going really far in the playoffs, and then getting fired after losing the first round. What do you got, Carter?
All right, so the Ted Lindsay Award is awarded annually to the National Hockey League's most outstanding player in the regular season as judged by the members of the NHL Players Association.
Okay.
It's probably going to be McDavid, but I would like to see Carlson win.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go McDavid actually.
Yeah. Now that
I thought we were talking like Norris, but okay.
Oh, did we not talk about Norris last episode?
No.
I think we did.
That's right.
We didn't.
Here, we'll do Gallant, and then I'll do that. So Gerard Gallant gets fired by the Rangers. Of course, after an abysmal playoff series and a lot of those guys not performing. I do think, though, with the new coach that they bring in, they need to, find someone who can do good with Lafreniere and Capo Caco and all those guys, and B, get the energy out of the players, make mid-game changes if the game isn't looking so good, and kind of just be a better coach than Gallant was. But I think Gallant will get another job. I'm just not sure where exactly. And then, the Norris finalists. It was Cale Makar, Eric Carlson, and Adam Fox, correct?
Yes.
I don't know how I missed that. And the Jack Adams, too. What the hell? Why am I missing all these awards? But who wins the Norris? I'm gonna go. Honestly, I'm gonna say Carlson. I think
it's Carlson. And then I'd like to change my Ted Lindsay to McDavid.
Yeah.
Just because I thought we were talking Norris.
Does he deserve? I don't know if he deserves it though. I feel like you could give it to someone like Fox. Makar didn't play a full year, so I don't know if he deserves it.
Should have been more.
I guess Carlson had a good season, so he's probably going to win it. And then Jack Adams was, I believe, Dave Hackstall, Lindy Ruff, and Jim Montgomery. Who wins that? I think any of those three could win it. It's not even like consensus Montgomery. I think like any of those three could. I'm going to say
anyone but Hackstall. I don't think Hackstall wins it.
I think Hackstall wins it.
Yeah,
really?
It hurts for me to say, but I kind of think Hackstall would win it. I think Montgomery has a good chance at winning it too, though, because of the historic season they had. But
yeah,
I just think overall, Hackstall unexpectedly pulled this team from being 8th in the division for a first wild card team. So I think that's really solid. But yeah, that's all I got for news. Did I miss any other awards? I don't think I did. I know King Clancy was announced, but I don't think there was finalists.
That's too many players to go over.
Yeah, we're not going over that. No, thank you. Trending players. I didn't have a lot of trending players. Honestly, I didn't see any players that really sparked my eye, playoffs wise. I put Manny Benier second. Leads rookies in the playoffs with 5 points in 11 playoff games. Being a part of that really key Seattle forward core that has just been scoring on all cylinders. So yeah, do you guys have any more trending players? I can't remember. I don't. I feel like I'm missing someone.
I feel like we're definitely missing someone.
Because the easy one is just to say, Draisaitl or
I was gonna say Draisaitl.
Jordan Marnook. Marnook. I completely forgot about him. He scored the overtime goal again for Carolina just a couple hours ago. And as well as that too, he has 4 points in 10 games, or 10 points in 4 games. Sorry. So he's been a really solid player. Completely forgot about him. My apologies. All right. Week 2, it's time. Jack Pulko's guest a player. So
let's get after it.
All right, for those who are new here, so basically what we've been doing since last week, we have been doing a series called Jack's Guess a Player, where Jack thinks of a random player, and me and Carter have 4 questions to work together to try and guess Jack's player. We went 0-1 in last week's episode. We lost because we forgot Sam Lafferty. I was thinking of Sam Lafferty, but I didn't go with him. But week 2, it's a brand new week. Carter, how are we feeling? How are we feeling right now?
I am buzzing right now.
Right,
I am so ready for this to not be a former Blackhawk.
So me and Carter went over a little bit of some pregame questions before Jack joined our live here. And we were thinking about what we should ask. So I'm going to let Carter go first again. And I'm going to get a drink of water while I listen to his question. Carter, go ahead.
All right. Jack.
Yes.
Is your player in the Western Conference?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. All right, what can we think here? Jack.
Yes.
Is your team is your player playing on a team in the United States?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Takes away some of the Canadian teams. Not what I was really looking for, but all right. Carter, go ahead. Shit. That was good.
All right. Jack, was your player on a playoff team?
Yes, he was.
All right.
Okay, so Western Conference playoffs. So we got Vegas, Jesus Christ, Avs, Seattle,
Vegas, Colorado, Seattle, Dallas,
Minnesota,
Okay.
LA. LA. That's
LA
it.
as well.
That's it. Wow, that was not very good. Oh my god. Actually, no, that was because it knocks out an entire round.
I think that was pretty good.
I don't know. I have like this puzzle box that I'm looking at right now. It has the map of all of the teams and where they're at. I'm thinking here. Jack, is your oh shit. Does your player play on a team that is closer to the Pacific Ocean or closer to the Atlantic Ocean?
Closer to the Pacific Ocean.
Dumb question, but
Who the fuck does that knock
Okay,
out? Every team in the West is gonna be closer to the Pacific, you dumb fuck.
it knocks
Not a
out
fan of that
Dallas,
question.
knocks out St. Louis, it knocks out Minnesota. It leaves
Dude,
okay.
St. Louis isn't a playoff team.
it knocks out Dallas and Minnesota. Sorry, and yeah, Dallas and Minnesota.
Why didn't you just ask? Are they in the Pacific Division?
Shit, we fumbled it.
Yeah,
Nordic,
yeah.
you keep fumbling on the fourth question.
How many more questions do you have?
We have
That's
none.
it. We have our final guess. Yeah, Nordfumble. Nordfumble.
All right, you guys better.
Nordic,
better
no,
read
you're
my
asking
mind.
player first. You're going player first. You have to.
Oh shit.
I think I got an idea though. But I'm not going first.
Let me think.
Carter, you got a player guess already?
I'm thinking of like former Blackhawks that are on like teams that are. All right, Jack. Is your favorite player?
Favorite player?
Is Jack? Is your guess a player? Adrian Kempe.
Jack, can I ask a question that doesn't go against the record here?
I guess.
Can I cross off LA? Is he on LA?
What?
Is he on LA?
Yes.
Oh fuck. Oh god damn. All right. Fuck.
That was a good guess, Nordic.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Oh, this isn't good.
It should be someone else that I was thinking about.
Okay, it's LA. Jesus
Why
Christ.
did you have to ask that, bro?
Wait,
Thank you for answering, Jack. Thank you.
we just rigged him. We just cheated him out of a question.
If I said no, then you wouldn't have guessed LA. But if I said like I can't tell you that, that would have made it
I
so.
still would
sad.
have guessed LA.
Oh my god.
I was.
yeah.
Can I be honest? I was not gonna go LA. My guess was gonna be Phil Kessel, but I'm sticking with LA.
Yeah, he's on
I
LA.
was, like,
So
thinking,
Carter,
I was thinking Vegas, but I was like, no, he's gonna
Oh,
go. He might
no.
go LA. He's gonna go Kings.
Okay. Oh fuck. Okay, he said Kempe's a good guess. I'm trying to think of LA's roster.
well, Kempe is just a good guess because he's on LA.
I know. My chair's spinning because I'm stressed.
We're right on the dot, Carter. And you know what? Carter? You said that my questions were bad. We narrowed it
If you
down.
guys pull this off after those dumb questions,
God, I don't.
Carter,
Here's my issue. I don't know. Is it gonna be a popular player or not? And I'm scared.
I'm like just putting players in
Oh, awesome.
the chat. I can't spell. We gotta pick one.
Okay. The one that I thumbed up is what I'm going with. All right, Jack. Is your player I follow?
No! No!
Trevor Moore.
Oh, there's no shot.
No!
I was not guessing that shit.
Oh man, we came so close. No.
Was Moore an option?
No.
Oh, I did put
Oh.
more down.
I
No.
love Trevor Moore. If you guys didn't know,
No,
We went
Trevor Moore.
popular with it. We went
Yeah.
the guy I was gonna guess was gonna be Doughty, but then Nord gave me I follow, and I was like, you know what, that's not
Yeah.
that big.
Yeah, I
you
was
should have
also
asked if
thinking
it was
about
forward,
Iafallo.
defenseman.
I still would have fucking guessed someone popular.
Yeah.
Fuck, we're
All
on
right.
2, Nordic. This is
Yeah.
We can get it
Not a
together.
good start to the year, Carter. We're 0-2.
Shut up, Jack.
Hey,
all right.
TikTok.
I like how you froze.
I froze.
On my end, you froze like this.
All right. What team did we finish off with last time? I think we finished off with Montreal. All right.
Whichever team finished 5th.
Yeah, so we're gonna do 5 more of our 2023 reviews to wrap up this episode. Now I'm just heartbroken. I don't even want to continue. I don't even want to continue with the episode.
I'm calling it a night.
We came so close. We fumbled it. Carter just knocked over his shit. We fumbled it. I actually can't believe it. All right. So we're gonna start off our 2023 reviews, going through 5 more teams with the Arizona Coyotes. The Coyotes finished off with a 28, 40, and 14 record for 70 points. They were, as I mentioned, I believe, what's 32 minus 5? That is 27th in the NHL, I think. And they were I think, 35 points out of a playoff spot. Their leading scorer was Clayton Keller, 82 games played, 37 goals, 49 assists, 86 points. Tied the Coyotes record. Of course, was arguably going to be, one of the better players on this rebuild, and of course has been argued as a very underrated player. But this is expected. They were expected to be this bad. Just kind of now you got to build off of the prospects, and they have the 6th overall pick in this year's draft. And the 12th as well. So they do have some picks to work with. They do have some options. So yeah, how do you guys feel about Arizona right now? What their overall direction? What they need to do in the offseason?
Yeah, I like the direction. I like the
they're
direction of this team.
Yeah, I like the overall way they're going as a Coyotes fan. They made a couple weird trades, but hey, I like the moves that they made 100%. That's all we got for Arizona. We'll move on to the Philadelphia Flyers. Great. The Flyers, 31, 38, and 13 for 75 points. They were 26th in the NHL, and they missed the playoffs by, I believe, 29 points. Their leading goal scorer was Travis Konechny with 60 games played, 31 goals, 30 assists for 61 points. Look, it was another really bad year. They fired Chuck Fletcher, which is the good news. They brought in Briere. They're going to have Keith Jones be the president, as we mentioned earlier in this podcast. So overall, I do kind of like the direction where they're going. We'll kind of see if it pans out that way. But, there's still a long way to go. How do we feel about the Flyers right now?
Pretty solid, honestly. I think I like the direction that this way is going. I really like Danny Briere as the GM. I think he's going to be a pretty solid GM.
Yeah, we just got to see, what moves he's going to make and, what he's going to do. Because he could screw us over, but he could not. So, we'll see. But, yeah, Philadelphia, I like the overall direction. Not a lot of young players, not a lot of cap space either. But, hey, not every team has good cap space and good contract. Next up, then, I believe I have the Washington Capitals for our third team. The Capitals finished with a 35, 37, and 10 record for 80 points. This is the first time they missed the playoffs since 2006. So it's definitely been a while since they missed, which is absolutely unreal to think. They haven't missed the playoffs since I was born. Crazy. They released their coach, Peter Laviolette, so they're going to bring in a whole new face behind the bench, which could be interesting. Their leading scorer was Alex Ovechkin, to no surprise, with 73 games played, 42 goals, 33 assists for 75 points. I have a question for y'all. Do you guys think they will be back in the playoffs next year?
I don't think so. And I only think that the Metro is just going to get better, and I honestly don't see this team competing, quite honestly, anytime soon. So
I guess that's a valid pick. Carter, what do you think? Do you think they'll make it?
I don't know. They don't have a whole lot of youth on that roster there, so I don't really know. I'm gonna say no. I don't think I can see them making the playoffs in the next little bit, but who knows? Maybe this 8th pick can help them.
I'm gonna say yes. I think they do. I think they bounce back from this. They have enough experience. If they can be healthy, I think they definitely will bounce back. But it all depends on them being healthy, honestly. And then, of course, too, they have the 8th overall pick, so they have the potential to get a solid player in this year's draft and help out with the youth. But yeah, I don't know about Washington making it. Next up, then, we have the Detroit Red Wings. The Red Wings, of course, they have a 35, 37, and 10 record for 80 points. Of course, another year of them missing the playoffs. Their leading scorer was Dylan Larkin, 80 games played, 32 goals, 49 assists for 79 points. Now, I have two questions for y'all. First off, do they make the playoffs next year? You guys are shaking your heads no. Yeah, I honestly think that, like, especially, and this is what I kind of thought, if Montreal got Bedard, that division is going to be fully competitive, hands down, from top to bottom. But now I'm not entirely too sure if it's going to be fully competitive, so maybe Detroit has a chance of making it. But Montreal, bringing in some more young guys, hopefully those guys can stay healthy. They could prove to be competitive. So
I think they might have a chance.
Yeah. What are you saying, Carter?
Are you talking Montreal or Detroit? Because I swear you said Detroit earlier and then just said Montreal.
Yeah, he said Montreal, but he's talking about Detroit.
I'm saying like if Montreal got Bedard, that entire division's fully competitive. I know. It's really confusing.
No, I know you said that, but then you also said how we feeling about Montreal.
Anyways, you guys don't think Detroit will make the playoffs? It's justifiable, but do you guys think that like the rebuild or like their future is worse now because like some of the guys didn't perform well? Do you guys think that it's worse if they keep missing like this?
I think it only gets better from here.
I guess that's true. I mean, they're slowly getting closer to a playoff spot. They were closer than last year, but I don't know. This is a big.
I like Larkin. I like Larkin leading this team a lot. Yeah.
This is a big offseason for them. They need to bring in some more guys to help out with the scoring, help out with the defense and the goaltending. But they still have a lot of work to do before they're in the playoffs, probably. And then the final team we will review here for this episode is the St. Louis Blues. The Blues finished with a 37, 38, and 7 record for 81 points. They had an abysmal year. We talked about at the beginning of the year, like they were an absolute roller coaster. They won like their first 5 games, then they lost like their next like 10. Then they won like their next 8 games, then they lost like their next 10, and then they were kind of middle of the road after that. But Kyrou was their leading scorer with 79 games played, 37 goals, 36 assists for 73 points. But yeah, it was really positive towards the end, but that was a painful year in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Really painful in the first half. But I do have this question. Do you guys think that with the guys that they have, if they make the right moves in the offseason, will they be back in the playoffs next year?
I don't think so.
Carter's nodding his head yes. Jack is saying no.
Well, do you think they're going to buy or not buy, just sign some guys this offseason?
I think they could. So. I think if the Leafs don't re-sign O'Reilly, I think he comes back to St. Louis.
He might, but like I think this team's going into a rebuild, honestly.
Yeah, maybe, but they still have some young potential here. They got
the downside to it is is all their like potential players that they have there, because like they're gonna lose out on because Kyrou's on a big deal now. Like it's hard to rebuild when you have a lot of big contracts, even if they're on young guys.
Here's the thing:
Sorry, go ahead.
You go first.
I was just gonna say, if you trade Kyrou this summer, you can get a lot from him.
Now, here's the thing with me. If they were going to sell, I feel like they would have sold at the deadline. And they did kind of sell at the deadline, but I feel like they would have sold more. They traded Tarasenko, they traded O'Reilly, but those players were both expiring. If they were truly selling, they would have dealt Falk, they would have tried to deal Shen, they would have tried to deal Thomas, Torrey Krug maybe, Parayko, some of those defensemen. They would have tried to move some more guys. If they were truly selling, in my opinion. So that's why I don't think they are going to sell, and I think they will probably make the right moves in the offseason and make the playoffs next year. But hey, we're all entitled to our own opinion. But yeah, I think you said no, Jack. I think you said yes, Carter. So I think honestly they do. If they make the right moves, I think they can make it. But I can see like if they're bad next year, then they will sell. Yeah, that's all we got. A little less than an hour. That's kind of shocking. The first episode in the playoffs has been less than an hour. But yeah, pretty ashamed about our heartbreaking Jack Polkos guest supplier.
Another L for the boys.
0-2. But yeah, thank you all for listening and watching. We do greatly appreciate it. Make sure to go subscribe or leave us a good review down below if we appreciate it. And yeah, again, episode 25. It's been a magical ride with y'all. We've been so thankful. Funny thing is, when I was like recruiting these guys, I wasn't sure if we would last long. I'm gonna be truly honest, because I've had podcasts in the past that have kind of failed. So I was wondering if this one would last. But hey, 25 episodes. We've been running it pretty well. You guys have been doing a great job. Big props to y'all. You guys have had some controversial takes. And we've brought on some great people, too. We brought on Bartner. We brought on Max. We brought on some pretty good big content creators. We even got the opportunity to talk to an actual NHL player, which is insane. And we're hoping that in the offseason and in the coming weeks to come, we'll be able to talk to even more people as well. But, yeah, thank you all for listening or watching. And we will see you guys in the next episode. Adios.